Welcome to Warblog. Today I'm going to play something, but I don't know what. As is ever, my ever giving apologies for being way behind on everything. Can't believe that I'm always so way behind. I haven't done anything. Is it this weekend? Is it over yet? Or I don't know what day it is even. Oh God, look at all these games I've yet to do, and I just want to. If I could just sit down and do them, because the thing is, they take time. I enjoy doing it, but there's just so many of them. It's like quite daunting. But I'm going to have a crack at this. When I say a crack, I'm not going to play the whole thing. I've been trying to focus on just getting some of these little games out because they're the ones I really like. But every time I look at one, I think, nah, I'll do a big map with that. I mean, what's happening on this? I did this one yesterday. This is interesting, actually. The Dagyurd fashion heliport, because I've been working sort of at the back end of the database, so to speak, and I was looking at the Sniper War, and obviously I did this one a long time ago, and I'm starting to sort of write it up a bit. And they've got all these sort of things like Twinsto as the sort of core base. I haven't got through the whole of it yet, but it's got obviously fairly reasonable Wikipedia on the events, and so this event on the 26th sort of was these conscripts are making the heliport in Dagyurd fashion, etc. And so I thought I'd make it. Now the problem with this area, there's nothing. I mean, I've sort of tried to give them the jungle hills and contours, but I don't think it's too successful. But these are sort of fairly accurately placed when you consider the source material. And when you consider the source material, you'll realise that this is actually about as good as it's ever going to get. But these are the bases, and I've sort of done them randomly by sort of eye, because this line sort of goes really like that, and so this cuts across the border, so the border is more like that, and so these bases are inside Peru, which is sort of key to the problem. So there they are there, but when you consider what it is, and I could maybe have been more faithful to the contours here, but I didn't really try. I didn't overlap it or anything. I just made it all up because I can't really see that well I can't really sort of get a good transfer of the mapping system over. And I mean, when you look at this place on Google Maps, it's just green. There's nothing. I need a good contour map. I know I've got one, but again, it all becomes practically applying these things. So, but anyway, this is an interesting game, but all it is landing your special forces next to this base, knocking them out, and that's it. So it's just a sort of more representative, really. But then I also did, but the thing is, I'm trying to sort of get back on some of these, because this is sort of like done almost right at the start of all the games, so this one will be somewhere in here, there, and so these ones all in there and there sort of pretty much been done, in the sense that when you look in them, they've got a reasonable write-up, or at least they've got words, because I'm going to be writing up the second Warblog journal. So I go back, I do go back and I do all these things and edit them and change them and look at them, etc., etc. So that's what I've been doing a little bit of. But then I thought, I'll do this one here. And again, I thought I'll do a little map. No, I'll do a big one. And all that happens here is these guys come down here. But this was a nice, easy map to do. So the backlog gets sort of frustrated by little things that just pop up. I mean, we've got this Western Tigray thing, and I have no idea what's happening. I'm just stuffed with things I've got to do. And, but this is interesting. But this, the Western Tigray, no, this. So this is the Western Sahara, and this is the Dagyurd buffer zone. Now, there's a lot happening there. I keep sending myself links, and it frustrates me really because I can't go faster than the pace that things are happening. But the subtleties of what's happening are quite obscure at times, and it takes a lot of thinking to actually figure them out. And I don't have that time, so I have to sort of jump and I don't know what's happening. It's sort of saying, there's quite a lot happening in this Western Sahara situation. I've sent myself at least 2 links, and I haven't actually been able to open them up and look at them, and and they get lost. Then you see, they get forget where they are. I open browser windows and they stay open, and weeks later my computer starts to go slow, and I have to shut Firefox down and I lose them all. So that's how it works. But the thing with this is that it's exactly the same. Now, I didn't copy the map because I didn't do it that way. I had to rebuild this map twice. So this is an event that happened in 2016. The reason I'm saying that is because they sort of give the impression that this Dagyurd buffer zone thing is quite a big thing. And, after 30 years, the Morocco's entered this demilitarized zone, and the Polisario Front are now declared war against them. But the thing is, when you look back, that's exactly what they did in 2016. So you've got to sort of take everything with a pinch of salt. But I built these maps separately, what I would have ideally done is built one and then duplicate it, but I didn't work like that because I wanted to make sure I had the links in there before I lost them. As I say, I lose links so quickly. That's one of the reasons I do these things coming soon. It's better for me to just put the link in there and have done with it, and then I know it's there. If I just sent this email to myself and was sort of like thinking, I'll do that, it just gets lost and I forget, and there's a few, and yeah, so that's how it sort of works. But there you go, another big map. Look at that. I thought, I just want to do these small maps, not that one. I started there, but there's another sort of long map. Well, this is a massive one. I've still got to sort of get through, and that looks like that's a small map, but there's nothing on it yet. It's all good stuff, really. I enjoy doing it, but there's another one. I'm just going to have to sit down tomorrow and add all the other ones I've got. Look, you see I've got nowhere through that yet. And nowhere through that. I started a bit of this today. This is sort of that town, but these are impenetrable, but they look a bit odd against the hills. I'm not 100% happy with them being white because the background's white. They look more like snow caps, but that's basically cliff. It doesn't really matter. I can change the graphic quite readily. The functionality is the difficult thing, so that's sort of done. But anyway, I'm gonna have a crack at this. When I say a crack, I'm not going to play the whole thing. I just want to sort of have a bit of a blast, really. But I think what's key, to some extent, obviously we've got the borderline here in a stupid colour that can't be seen. It's another big game. I really enjoyed the map, but I somehow, when it was finished, it's not as good as I thought it would be. Again, I think you got to sort of figure out what you're going to do. Lots of drones, so again, figuring out where the air defences are. 1, There don't seem to be that many. Now they're probably underneath, that's why I can't see them. Oops, look at that, I can do this. And then come back to the map. Isn't that clever? So there's air defence there. There's air defence there. Air defence there. There isn't that much air defence. I think if we can take that out. But he's underneath this infantry unit. So there's only two by the looks of things. There's one there. 1, 2, 3, 4. But I think what I was trying to get to with this, from my thoughts, what we sort of need to do is obviously consider the air defence positions. So we've found 4. There might be some more. Let's not worry about that too much. But the way I sort of thought of this is to not think of it traditionally like a front, because they don't have a lot of units. They can't really attack us, and we do get quite a lot of stuff coming on, I think. And I'm pretty sure it comes on from all down here, but some stuff comes on from here and here as well. But not a lot, and not straight away. So we'll probably be quite a way advanced before that stuff starts to come on. But what my primary thoughts were, and obviously you can sort of see there's some mines and things, entrenchment, earthworks, to focus on just almost taking one hex at a time. And I think that would be that road. However, we could just cut straight round here like that. So if we were to say that's our objective, we could focus on just taking this one hex and then just take it, positioning and maneuvering everything else accordingly. So we can maybe take that hex, obviously, take that hex, but not take anything else, so end up with just this. Now the point of that, try and use a colour that can be seen, I don't know. The point of that is that when you do that, it then forces the Armenian player to manoeuvre, either to fight or to manoeuvre accordingly. Now if we have this hex, obviously we'd be able to move into there or there, and so they would then have to somehow block that and that, but also to contemplate these. So essentially they're going to have to draw their forces back. So I think that's the way I'm going to play it. I'm not sure what sort of decision I'm going to make with regards to the air defence. I feel it's going to be an all or nothing. So what I might try to do is to concentrate 50% on the 2 nearest air defence units. They do have artillery as well. Maybe taking out some artillery would be better, but I want to go for the air defence units, because once that's decided, it's done, and I think it's the toughest thing. So I'm going to take one hex and take out those 2 air defence targets, which are fairly well defended, entrenched with infantry. So in the first instance, I'm going to go for, where is it? There, I'm going to go for that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Maybe what I should do is give them reinforcements, so that you know, if you lose your drones, you get some more later on in the game. But so he's only got one. He's got 2. 1 in range, 1 direct. Okay, so it's at 2.4, so going to be a slow haul on that. But that is on his own. Oops, that might mean that he's not going to survive. But look at all that air defense. Ouch. Shot down. Half strength, but we've got 1.6 in there. Aborted. Aborted. Oh, 0.25. Oh, it's deadly. Okay, I'm quite prepared to expend the drones. It's making me think about the balance of air defense units, but I'm not so fussed at this stage. But we want to take that somehow. We could have used our drones to help. Oh well. In fact, that's what I should have done. Because now I look at it, well, I'm not going to be able to take that, am I? Because if we were for like 6, we're going to only get nothing against it. I'm going to have to start using my drones against them. Okay, so what can Armenia do? Well, I deliberately put artillery there, not necessarily specifically there, but in stupid places. You sort of think, oh look, you can't move through the jungle. That's interesting. Oh no, I haven't ended the turn. Okay. We're going to be able to, we can move 2. Wow. I'll come back to that. So what do we want to do here? Do we want to push forward and keep them down? This is a nice strong line. It's interesting. Because I don't really feel there's much point in moving forward, so to speak. This is such a strong line. I think the Azerbaijanis are going to have a problem doing anything. Okay, so we've got some of our drones back. I need to have some reinforcements, I think, because they're clearly going to lose lots. But going back to my initial plan, now they've recovered, so everything I did was a loss. Let's just use the artillery. We want to take that hex. That is my only concern now. One of those units is getting a pounding. 5.7, 3.1. Okay. We routed one of them, but we lost the drone in the process. They died. They did a route check because they were attacked by drones, even though they blew them up. So we got them. See, that is what I'm talking about. And then, effortlessly, we can walk in there. Can we attack? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's going to be a 1-to-1. We could put some drones in there against it. But no, what we said that, haven't we? This is our attack. So what does that actually leave us with? So let's just look. And turn. So we've now pushed there. So obviously, based on our strategy, the next thing they have to do is consider these. Now that's a weak hex because it's got engineers, so they're going to have to probably move them into there. I mean, that's about as much as they can do, but that's a weak stack. But they don't know we're going to be going for that or that, but they're going to have to do something there. It's actually mines in there. Right, we'll put some artillery down on that. Or not. Oh no, because they moved. They can't move and fire. Okay, so that's sort of it. I'm not going to do much else. So ironic that the artillery is moving so quickly, although it is probably more along the lines of self-propelled howitzers. Right. So we want to continue our assault, breaking through this line. Oh, that looks like the one to target. Got it. 5 damage on the air defense units. Once they're on their own, they're vulnerable. So he's at... Right, but our artillery can't get there. But we have to move our artillery forward. If he's got 50% down, he's at half. The terrain, would it, hilly jungle, I mean, what's that? It's going to be like 4 times, so it's going to be worth 2. But his air defense on his own, so he'll be divide by 5, so that will be 0.4. So I should be able to do it with this one. Yes, 6 eliminated. So, but we can move him in there. So we're breaking through, we're breaking this line through. It's not the most ideal way to do it, but I did not want to do that. Oh well. Okay. Can we attack? Is it going? We could attack that, you know. I mean, he'll be worth 4. What sort of odds would we get against that? I don't really want to do it like that. I want to take this unit out next. We got rid of an air defense unit. I want to take that unit and just continue that advance like that. Interesting strategy, really. Especially if we can outflank them. Okay. If this was just a little square game like that, it would be more fun, really, or less scrolling. I really want to make some of these smaller games. Okay, so we should have, we'll bring in a lot of this anti-tank in. We should have some artillery now that we can at least fire on something. Now what do we want to fire on? Maybe this unit. You know what? I get the feeling that his range is not been put in properly. I'll have to look that up, because he should be able to get some odds against that, and so should that one. Sometimes when I add them in, because if I add this artillery in, I've got to do 4, 1, 6, 6, and sometimes I just do 4, 1, 6. Or I get it mixed up. The 4 will go in that box, and the 1 will go into that box, or something like that. Mess it up. Obviously, it's not working, so I'll have to look that up. So this game's a bit spoiled from that perspective, because now they've not got their artillery to fire, and they've got quite significant amounts of artillery. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not going to start again. Okay, but we sort of got to consider this hole. Now, how are we going to do this? What do we want to do it? How do we want to do it? That will do. Okay, so as the Azerbaijani player, their artillery doesn't seem to be working, so that's good for us. But what do I want to do? Do I want to continue with that strategy and take this unit out? Got that far. What it might be nice to do is to concentrate our drones in sectors where there's no air defense. For example, here. Or here, maybe. Let's try and focus on taking 2 units out. This one and this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 5, 4. 4 on here. No air defense. Not enough. And here's this unit coming down here, as I said. Okay, I'm not going to do any attacks. I'm going to leave everything just to speed things up a bit. So what do we want to do here? Do we want to now bring this to bear over here? .1 damage. Oh no, that was a mistake. It's going to come to a point where we're not going to be able to contain that. If we had the artillery, we could be pounding it, but we don't have it. The Azerbaijanis. Well, I still want to go for the... can we get them now with the artillery? Yes. No effect. .6. No effect. Oh, 2.4. That's 3. Right. I think I'm going to try and expand that with a bit of air defense. I mean, so I'm going to put 3, 3, 3, whatever the division is. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It is 3 as well. Okay. I need to get over 1 for it to be permanent. Shot down. It's not even any air defense. And 3 onto this. .9. But I think we're going to go for a combined attack on this. Which means I'm going to put him into there. Not really the way I wanted to do it. Okay. Oops. Nothing. Okay. Still want us to follow that strategy, so I really want to go for. He's moved, hasn't he? He moved there, look. So I'd less like to take him out anyway, which means he's left engineers there, and I think they suffer. 0.3. I'm not going to bother with these extremes. I'm wasting drone time on them. I sort of want to take one of these units out now. This one is tempting because he's already so damaged. I think I'm going to try artillery on this and then drones on here, because hopefully I'll be able to get him to rout. That would suit my purposes just the same. Oh yes, look at that, 3 and he routed. Now I can do this. I'm going to go for this. Attack. Exchange. Okay, I'm going to put 5 on here. But I'm also going to go for 333. Although I don't think I've got 333, but shot down. I'm definitely going to have to give them some reinforcements, drone reinforcements. Huh. Take a retreat. Oh, look at that. Okay. Not going to bother with all this stuff. I definitely need more. The thing is, I think the drones need to be tougher. So, do we want to hold? I mean, this line is now quite extensive. Going from there, if we had artillery, we might be able to think about counter-attacking, but we just don't have the odds to counter-attack. But we've definitely got to defend. Okay, speed things up here a bit. So what can we do now? Now we've got this interesting pattern. 1.4. I'd like to blow him out, but I don't think our artillery is going to get there. Oh yes, yes it will. Okay. 5. Oh, that was good. That was all good. 5.8. Okay, let's put 3 drones on it. Which one is it we're dealing with? Okay. We're routed even though we're aborted. Okay. And we should now be able to blow this artillery up. Okay, I'm going to try and blow this anti-tank stuff up. not a lot of use. Okay, so we've got to consider whether or not this is being stretched too far. I mean, we're losing our flank here, look, because this is going to start coming around, so we've got to consider that. I think the safest thing at this stage is to do this, but that loses a lot of our entrenchments, but I don't think we have a lot of choice. And here, similarly weak, so that keeps our line. I won't bother with any of this other stuff. So what can we do drone wise? We need to sort of consider the punch, drive it through a little further maybe. See, what I'd like to do is break this line as well though. So I could take this unit out and drive through there. I think I'm going to do that. But what do I want to do with the artillery? I'd like to blow something up, like him. I think I'm going to go for him actually. Checkpoint, that was good. So it leaves him at 6.3. We might be able to attack him. I'd rather use my drones here. And just for the hell of it, I'm going to do this again. DR. Generous. Do we have any engineers? Yes. Oh, look at that. Perfect. See how the engineers just went straight in there? That's because they are allowed. Managing to stretch this line quite nicely. Well, it's 57, so I'm not going to do any more, but once it looks like that, I think the Armenians have to do something. I love the way it's all happening down here. I should have just made a small map and done with it. But it's got scope for playing further, which I'm saying not going to do. Probably ever. I know. Oh, God. But I think that's really interesting because there's only so much that their line can withstand. And I think that has got to be a breaking point. I mean, we could slot back in there, but we're at 9.3, so they're going to be dead. We've been hit there, we're at 8.6, so they don't have the units. They're sort of going to have to pull back. And they should have done it before, because now these units are never going to outpace these units. And so they're all going to get cut off. The patterns are incredible. Again, I felt a bit rushed, especially as the artillery doesn't work for the Armenians, and I haven't really done much with all of this. But it'd be interesting to see how that pans out. I'm sure the real front line wasn't as dense as this, but it's interesting. And we should be able to get rid of these mines, clear that road, and pour straight through here with our mobile units up along the road. Okay, I'll leave it at that. I'll speak to you later. Cheerio.